So for today's video, it's very different. I've never done a video like this. I'm going to be eating as well. But I have this thing where like I've been wanting to do this video for so long. But I've pushed it back so many times because I'm so afraid of like being vulnerable, I guess, in this video. I don't know. I don't even know if my lighting's good, you guys. So pretty much I'm going to tell you guys my story. I got Jack in the Box to eat for lunch today, just to do this video. So pretty much I'm going to tell you guys like about me, like my story, like how I am where I am. Whew, so hot. Like a lot of you might know, I'm a single mom of 2. And my life has not been the easiest. My life hasn't been the easiest, and I've gone through a lot of shit in my life that I've never really talked about, like on camera. And I'm like in these like mommy groups on Facebook and like mommy YouTube groups on Facebook, and like I've noticed like I don't know how to start this video, guys. I don't even know how to like go about this video, but pretty much being a single mom is hard as hell, you guys. It's very difficult. It has been very difficult for me. I have 2 boys. I have Connor, who is 6 years old, and Adrian, who is 1. 2 different dads. With Connor, with Connor's dad, we were together for 5 years. So we were together 1 year before I had Connor, and then 4 years after that. And then things just started like going downhill really, really quickly. Like we were always arguing. Connor has a speech delay. So his speech delay is a consequence of me and his dad fighting so much in front of him, to the point where we just realized, like, you know what, this isn't working, and for the health of our son, like, we needed to separate. Although, like, my thing was always wanting to have a family together, it just didn't work out. And then with Adrian's dad, we were together for a year, a little less than a year actually, before I found out I was pregnant. And he left me real quick, real fucking quick. As soon as the day I told him I was pregnant, he dipped. He tried to convince me to get an abortion. He was very manipulative in the aspect of like, get an abortion and I'll stay with you, like I won't leave you, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna risk my beliefs and my another life for you. Like, you don't want to be a part of my life, then screw you, get the hell out of here. You know, now he's like a part of Adrian's life, but it's very, very like minimal. But I knew him since I was in 6th grade. I thought he was a completely different person. And when I told him I was pregnant, like, that flip switched real quick. But I'm still standing. I'm still like, I do so much for my kids. Like, my kids are my top priority. Everything else is just like on the back burner. Like, thank God, like I live with my mom now, and like she helps me out. So on Sundays, which are it's one of her 2 days off, she takes care of my kids and I get to film. So I literally film 3 to 4 videos on Sundays, and that's how I keep up with YouTube. Another question that I had from a lot of the girls on Facebook was, how do I kind of manage my both relationships with both of my fathers, both of the father and my kids. With Chris, I'm actually really, really good friends with Chris, who is Connor's dad. He's really great. Like, we're really, really close. We talk all the time. We always talk about Connor. Like, he's always calling and FaceTiming Connor. It's a good relationship that we have now. We didn't have that when we were together. And now that we're not together, it's a lot better, and we actually get along. I actually go over to their house pretty often. Like, right now I haven't, though, because of COVID. They've come to our new house. You know, like, we're all really close. Like, I'm still really close with the kids over there. Like, those kids are my life. Those kids, like, I helped raise them, and they will always have a special place. With Oscar, which is Adrian's dad, I don't really have a relationship with him. It's very difficult to speak with him sometimes because he gets so angry so quickly. But I'm not going to touch base on that one. Just point blank, like, I don't really have that big of a relationship with him. I do have a big relationship with his mom, who's Adrian's grandma. She's really good with Adrian. I think one of the hardest things for me lately has been the fact that, like, I'm a single mom, and we just found out, not just found out, just a few months ago, we found out Adrian's allergic to literally almost everything, and it sucks. I'm allergic to dairy and eggs. Adrian's allergic to dairy, eggs, peanut butter, nuts, oats. And it's been very, very difficult. Like, it's been very, very depressing for me because that's not something I wanted for my kid. I have dealt with allergies all my life, and I have suffered. I suffered so much when I was a little kid, you guys. Like, my eyes were always red, and, like, I had eye boogers. Like, I would wake up with my eyes completely glued shut with all, like, the little eye boogers that I would get in my sleep. It was not fun, and I really hope to God, like, that's not how Adrian is. But he is highly allergic to dairy and eggs. Like, he blows up in hives so quickly, and it is so painful for me to watch. That's not what I wanted for my kid. And the allergist that we saw is very hopeful that he will grow out of it, and I'm hoping and I pray to God literally every single day to renew his body, to, like, get rid of all his allergies, because I do not want him to live the way I did. I was bullied in high school and in middle school because of it, and it's so unfair for people to bully you because of allergies, something that you cannot help, something that you cannot change. As much as you want to change it because you're being bullied and you're being treated so badly because you're allergic to these things, you cannot change it. And unfortunately, like, it sucks. Like, being allergic to dairy and eggs, it sucks because you have to be so careful with everything. Like, you have to read every single ingredient and every little thing, and it's so hard. It is a little easier with Adrian because he pretty much eats what I eat. I just cut out peanut butter out of my diet. We use almond butter, so almonds are the only thing that he's not allergic to as far as, like, the nut family. But it just sucks to see, like, all the other kids being able to eat dairy and all that stuff, and, like, if they touch the counter and then Adrian goes and touches the counter and then he rubs his eyes, he gets hives. So it's very, very stressful sometimes. And there's nights where I've cried and I plead to God to change Adrian, to renew his body, and hopefully my prayers will be answered. You know, until then, like, we just have to be very, very careful. And then, let's see, what other questions did they have? I can't remember. Let me see. They asked me a few questions. So in some of my videos and in some of my pictures, like, there's more kids. Like, let's see, like, let me show you guys. So I've had this photo on, like, Instagram, on Facebook, and a lot of people question, like, who's the other baby? So this baby is not my baby. So I don't have twins. A lot of people think I have twins, and I don't have twins. I actually, back in December of 2019, my brother and his wife went through, I guess you could say, a hard time. And they lost everything. They lost their house. They lost their job. My brother lost his job. And they were about to lose their kids. Well, I mean, they did lose their kids. It sucks. But the kids were going to be put into foster care. So my mom ended up taking supposedly temporary custody of my brother's 3 kids. And so then, these tiny tacos from Jack in the Box are so freaking good. So my mom took custody of my brother's 3 kids back in December 2019. It is January, almost February of 2021, and we still have custody of them. Unfortunately, my brother and my sister-in-law don't seem to really give a shit. And I'm gonna be straight out blunt here because it pisses me off. They don't give a shit about their kids. They haven't gotten any jobs. They live from apartment to apartment to apartment. There's like a little fly in my car. And they're just like, I don't even know what the hell they're living off of, you guys. But they're not working. And what pisses me off more is my sister-in-law will call my oldest nephew, who's 13, and tell him, hey, I got a job. I'm saving up money so I can buy a house and I'll get you guys and blah, blah, blah. It's the same freaking story every 3 months. And it's so freaking tiring and so irritating to me that she gives these kids so much hope just to tear them down. You guys have no idea how angry I get when I talk about this. So these kids literally, like, I literally think like they're here to stay. Like, it sucks because their parents don't give a shit. But it is what it is. And honestly, like, it feels so good to be able to vent, honestly, in this video, because I have held so much in because I just get so angry and I don't want to explode on anybody else. But they don't give a shit about their kids. I don't understand how the hell you're gonna have kids and then you're just gonna dump them, leave them, and just forget about them, like act like you don't even have them, and go about your life. You go and get yourself a new damn boyfriend, another freaking drug dealer, most likely, because that's what he looks like. And I'm sure, and I've heard that's what he is. So how the hell are you going to go from being with my brother to going with a drug dealer and thinking you're going to get your kids back like that? Like, that shit pisses me off. And honestly, like, it just makes my blood boil. And, like, I don't get it. So back in 2019, she had just had a baby like a month and a half before. So that's the other baby you guys see in like either like my videos or my pictures on Instagram and Facebook. It literally is like I have twins, but they're not really twins. They're 5 weeks apart. Adrian, which is my son, is older. Victor is the baby. So that's another reason why we moved. So we used to live in Glendale, in a tiny ass little house, in a 1-bedroom house. Okay, hold up, you guys, because it's getting cold. We used to live in a 1-bedroom house up in Glendale. If you guys know the area, you guys know like where I used to. If you guys know me personally, you guys know my house was fucking hella tiny, and there was 7 of us living in the house, and we were going crazy, you guys. It was such a hard transition from going from only 4 of us to being 7 of us, like. And it was just so hard. And so we ended up having to sell that house, move out here. We moved out here to Ventura County. We have a beautiful house. It's a 3-bedroom house with a pool, so it's pretty freaking awesome. But of course, we moved because we feel like this situation with the kids is permanent, and they're growing up, you know, like my oldest nephew is 13, my niece is 7, and the baby's a year old. So it's hard because we don't have all that space, you know, like we don't have a lot of space, and eventually like the kids are gonna grow up. So there's a lot of plans that we have for this house. We're thinking of building an additional unit above the garage eventually, and that'll be my place, and then the little kids kind of have the room I'm in, because right now I share my room with my son Adrian. My oldest nephew has his own room, and then my son Connor, my niece, and the other baby sleep in my mom's room with her. So it's all like we're like all crammed, I guess you can say. Oh, they're cold already. And what pisses me off the most is she manipulates him. She tries to manipulate with him. She fucks with his head, with his feelings and everything that's going on. She makes it seem like my brother is the only person that has done bad in this situation. But let's be real here. She's a lazy ass bitch She never wanted to freaking do anything in her house. Her house was always a damn mess. She would always make my nephew be cleaning everything while she was sitting on the damn couch watching TV all day long. She never showered her daughter. Her daughter was never nicely dressed. Her clothes were always dirty. It's like these people, honestly, she never deserved to have kids because she never really wanted them. She wanted them to trap my brother. And at the end of the day, she's not even with my brother no more. I'm sorry, you guys. I totally went on a huge rant about it. But it feels so good to finally get all that stuff off my chest. Because I feel like I can't say it in the house because, like, my nephew, like, gets really emotional. Yeah, but I mean, being a single mom is definitely hard. I think it's been a little easier for me because I've had my mom to help me out. And my mom's always been, like, a huge, like, supporter. Like, you know, she supports what I do. And I'm still going to school, so she helps me out with that, with, like, taking care of the kids. It's been a lot easier because of COVID to go to school because everything's been, like, remote or online. So I haven't had to, like, actually leave the house to go to class. I mean, I have a lot of goals for this year, you guys. Like, there's a lot we want to do to the house. And I'm going to be vlogging it. We want to extend the kitchen out a little more. We are getting flooring. We're getting laminated flooring now because back to, like, with Adrian being sick with allergies with so many allergies, the rug irritates his eczema as well. So we're going to get flooring soon. Another question was that because Adrian has allergies, does Connor have allergies too? So Connor, thankfully, he doesn't have allergies. He eats everything and anything. Like, the kid will eat and eat and eat, but he is so skinny, you guys. He's so skinny. But he eats a lot, so I don't understand why he's so skinny. We're thinking that his dad's genes were stronger than mine, and so, like, it made him not be allergic to, like, everything I'm allergic to. Unlike Adrian's, my genes were stronger, so he got my allergies. My tattoo. A lot of people always ask, like, what my tattoo is, and I guess, like, I should have gotten it, like, it looks upside down, and, like, to actually look at it, you have to look at it this way, but I should have gotten it, like, the other way. But I got this tattoo when I was, like, 18, you guys. Like, right when I moved out of my house, of my mom's house for the first time, I went and I got this tattoo because I had been wanting it since I was, like, 17. This was for my best friend that died back in 2011. So he died of an overdose on New Year's Eve. Well, he died New Year's Day. He was pronounced dead New Year's Day. He was my best friend growing up. He was honestly the biggest reason why I didn't kill myself in middle school. Like I mentioned earlier, middle school was very, very difficult for me. I was bullied every single day of middle school, you guys. Every single day. From 7th to 8th grade. Every day. And he was probably, like, the biggest reason why I didn't. Like, he was just always there for me, like, to make me feel better. And when he died, it really shook me. Like, it shook me. Like, I went into, like, this depression. It was so bad. And to this day, like, it's been 10 years and it still sucks. Like, I still cry. The other day I went and I visited his grave. I'll post a picture here. And they did, like, the little celebration of his 10 years. And it still feels so fresh for me. Like, I just can't believe 10 years have passed, you know? Like, it just feels like, it literally, like, as if it happened, like, 2 weeks ago or something, you know? And it sucks. So that's what my tattoo says. It says, "Rest in peace, Abner," and then the day he died. I kind of want to get it redone, but, like, do something else. Not, like, take away the "Rest in peace, Abner." I mean, obviously, like, take this away, but, like, maybe, like, turn this into, like, a rose, and then, like, somewhere, like, in the petals, like, in cursive, right, "Rest in peace, Abner." Because the guy that did it didn't do that great of a job, and then he was messing up on the date. Like, he just didn't do that great of a job. So I do want to get more tattoos, but my mom is so dead against it that like I can't because I live with her. But I want to get Connor and Adrian's baby footprint on my shoulder blades and like their birth dates and everything in Roman numerals. So that's definitely one thing I really want to get. Like, I don't know when, but eventually I want to get their footprints in the back. My other one was, what are my YouTube goals, I guess, for you? She said YouTube goals, but my biggest goal for YouTube is obviously to be able to make an income from YouTube, not just from YouTube, but from sponsorships and all this like other forms of income that you get with being like big on YouTube, you know. Unfortunately, I don't work right now. I can't work. I have this like medical condition, I guess you can say, where I get these attacks and I can't like out of nowhere, like I just can't breathe. Like it literally feels like I'm being crushed by a huge ass rock and I can't breathe, and I'm like you know, and like my mom has to like massage it out for me to feel better, but I can't really talk too much about that because so I can't work. My doctor hasn't cleared me to go back to work, unfortunately. So I'm stuck at home. I can't work. I can't do anything. I can't help my mom out with any money, and it sucks. So my biggest goal is to be able to make an income through YouTube and through like sponsorships and stuff like that. But my biggest goal for this year is to reach 5K on YouTube. I did reach 1K before the year ended, so I was super excited about that. I am hoping to reach 5K this year. So that's my biggest goal. I'm going to try and stay consistent on YouTube with videos and like 3 times a week. So hopefully I can stick with that. But Connor's education comes first, and with also having a baby, like I want him to start like learning stuff too, you know? So the other one was how I edit my pictures on Instagram. So I have like a few different types of pictures on Instagram. I have this like close-up one. And then I have this one that's far away. And then this one that's obviously from my phone. And it's pretty easy how I edit my photos. Like I don't do too much. Or like I completely alter the picture of what it used to look like. But I was thinking of doing a video on how I edit my photos, so that is going to be coming out pretty soon. So click on that bell so you're notified to know when that video is coming. The other question was, am I dating anyone? So I'm not dating anyone. I'm actually hella single, like single to the max. Like especially during COVID, like I haven't been able to go out and like meet anybody, and honestly I'm not looking for a relationship right now. Like if it were to come around, you know, and if it's like the right guy and who treats me well, then maybe I'll start dating. But other than that, like I'm not looking for it right now, you know. Like the most unexpected relationships are some of the best relationships. Not all, okay? Not all, so don't take my word for it, because Oscar was very unexpected because I wasn't planning on dating at all. He popped into my life very unexpectedly, and that was a shit show. Okay? So not all, but a lot of the relationships that are very unexpected, and if you're not looking for them, they're some of the best relationships. Like my friend, she's so happy with her man now, and it was an unexpected relationship. Shout out to you, girl, because you look hella happy now, and I'm so happy for you. But yeah, not dating anyone. And in correlation with that question is, when is the right time for you like to introduce your kids to your new man? So I honestly would say 6 months to a year. Before I fucked up with Connor meeting Oscar very early on. Okay, so another question is, how did you bond? So like bonding with your son during your pregnancy. So when I was pregnant, I was with Connor 24/7, so I was always with him, and I would take him to the movies, I would take him out to eat. So just to make sure like you have that bonding time with your kids. And even now, like now because of quarantine, we don't really do much, but there's times where like I'll take Connor for a walk with his dog. Like we'll take his dog for a walk, and it'll just be me and him. So like you always want to find time to like just make time for just your oldest son, so he doesn't feel like you've completely abandoned him now that you have a new kid. The other one thing I do too is every Friday Connor gets to sleep in the bed with us. So Adrian is pretty much, he sleeps on my bed the majority of the time. I am slowly transitioning to him to sleep in his crib, but he does sleep with me every night in my bed most of the time. So every Friday I allow Connor to sleep with us as well. Thank God for a queen size bed, because if I didn't, I would be in a lot of pain. The other question is, how do you continue with life after going through your pregnancy alone? So I went through it alone in regards of the baby daddy not being with me for Adrian. So with Connor, I was with Chris when I was pregnant. Props to him, because he would get up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. If I was craving a hamburger, he'd go out and make me a hamburger at 2 in the morning. With Adrian, I did it alone with no man. I did have my mom, though. She helped me out a lot. With Adrian, my pregnancy was so much harder. I was in the hospital at least once a week after I hit like my 4 or 5 months, because I was having contractions and I had a higher risk of miscarrying. So it was hard. Thank God, like I didn't get any postpartum depression with Connor. With Adrian, I did a little bit because, like I mentioned, like I didn't have the dad around. He didn't show up the day he was born. I mentioned it. I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm going in. I'm getting induced. He didn't bother showing up. So it was definitely hard. I did have a little bit of postpartum depression, but it wasn't that bad. How has having kids put a strain on your friendships? So honestly, it hasn't really put a strain on my friendships, I guess, because with Connor, my best friend was Shelly, and she was pregnant too at the same time. And then with Angelica, it didn't put a strain on our friendship, because she always had a little brother who was like a year younger than Connor, I believe. So that was fine. What put a strain on our relationship was me moving away from Orange County. So we're not like that close anymore. My other friendships, it really hasn't put a strain on them. Like I talk to them here and there. Like because of COVID, like we can't really see each other. But I did get to see Linda the other day, who's honestly like, they're like my second family. Like they always, like I will always feel like they're like my second family. Like she's like the big sister I never had. And shout out to her, because she did my nails. Dude, you guys see these nails? Look how bomb these nails are, you guys. So shout out to her for doing nails. If you guys are in the San Fernando area, San Fernando Valley, hit her up. I'll put her Instagram right here. Yeah. So it really hasn't put a strain on my relationship all that much. What was your longest relationship? So my longest relationship was with Connor's dad, Chris. We were together for 5 years, like I mentioned. That has been my longest relationship to this day. And what was your biggest craving while being pregnant? So with Adrian, I had a lot of cravings, like all kinds of different stuff. With Connor, it was literally chili fries. You guys, I had chili fries like every single day during my pregnancy with him. What is your favorite part about being pregnant? So my favorite part about being pregnant was being able to eat and not really worry too much, as long as I wasn't eating like hella junk food. But that was like my biggest thing, was like being able to eat and not worry too much, and also like feeling the baby kick. Like I would get so like jittery and like I don't know how to explain this feeling. Like for you guys, girls who have been pregnant, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like just feeling your baby kick inside of you, it just gives you like, I don't know, like I'm just talking about it and I'm getting like goosebumps. Like I just loved that feeling. So a lot of the other questions were like about my filming setup and like the equipment I use for my YouTube video. So I think I'm gonna do those in a separate video. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long one. There were a few like major rants in this video, but it was kind of nice to like just talk and get it out in the open, like with my feelings and stuff. So I might be doing like more Q&A videos like this in the car, or like any other kind of videos in the car. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click that bell so you're notified every single time I upload. I upload 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.